0 in game one, hitting the game-winning three-pointer with less than 3 seconds left. Well, there was going to be no late game heroics in this one. SGA and the Thunder have not lost back-to-back games at home since November of last season, and they came out hot. Chet Holmgren, bucket in the foul, stepping up after missing both key free throws at the end of game one. OKC by 24 after the first quarter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for three. Aaron Wiggins with the putback. SGA on an alley-oop to Jalen Williams. This was all Thunder in this game. I mean, they came out on a mission up 31 at halftime, 87-56, tied for the most points in any half in NBA playoff history, and they continue to pour it on in the second half. SGA, a game-high 34 points on 11 of 13, perfect 11 for 11 from the free throw line, and OKC wins big, 149-106, most points in a playoff game in franchise history as they win by 43 to even up the series at 1 game apiece. Hey, they're the first home team to win a conference semifinal game this postseason. And, man, do they bounce back big in OKC. So it's the third largest win in a playoff game in Thunder franchise history. Their other big win coming this postseason. They won game one of the first round against the Grizzlies by 51. So two of their largest wins in a playoff game in franchise history coming this postseason. The Thunder, the first team with multiple 40-point wins in a single postseason, which is one reason why they still remain the favorite to win the NBA title at plus 125. And for more, welcome in CBS Sports HQ NBA analyst John Gonzalez. John, where was this in game one?
Yeah, they could have used some of this in game one, right? I mean, well, you know what? To be honest, in game one, they looked like they were going to have a pretty comfortable win until the end of the game when they just sort of gave it away and there were all these mistakes. And Mark Daigneault made some mistakes in letting Nikola Jokic get it back into the game when he decided to foul up three, which is technically the right strategy. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yes, they could have used some of this in game one. Now, everybody wanted to see, me included, me especially, how they would respond after giving away game one, because don't forget, Akeem, they haven't been tested or hadn't been tested in these playoffs. That first round series against the Grizzlies, they absolutely demolished the Grizzlies in 4 games, outscored them by 78 points. And then all of a sudden, here comes Denver stealing game one. So there was these rumbles about, okay, Oklahoma City is a really good regular season team. Are they a good playoff team? Well, asked and answered tonight. They came out and decided to put the pedal down right away. They were up. They scored 87 points at the half, an NBA record for any half in the postseason. They were up as many as 49 points. All 5 of their starters were in double figures at the half. SGA was amazing. I think that they came out of this last game, out of game one, and said, we can't let that happen again. Let's not leave anything to chance.
All right, that'll do it for John Gonzalez here on CBS Sports. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know we have much more to talk about, but really, what else is there left to say? Like, what was the most impressive part of that win for Oklahoma City? The fact that SGA went a perfect 11 for 11 from the free throw line, all 5 OKC starters in double figures at halftime. Like, it was impressive. And like now you go to game 3, you're going to flush that because it doesn't matter. You got to win 4. But in all seriousness, what was most impressive about that win?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, you singled out SGA. SGA was excellent tonight. I thought it was impressive that they were running their regular 10-man rotation, and all 10 guys in the first half were super involved, super talented. They put up a bunch of numbers. Like, it wasn't just that it was 1 or 2 guys. All 10 guys were really involved, and Mark Daigneault didn't decide to shorten his rotation. He said, no, we're going to keep playing the way that we play. And then beyond that, and within that, the defense was excellent tonight. There were some questions about, okay, would that regular season defense translate to the postseason? And also, specifically, how would you defend Nikola Jokic after he absolutely demolished you in game one with a monster 40-point, 22-rebound double-double? Well, tonight he had 17, 8, and 6, a pedestrian line for him. And beyond that, he fouled out in the third quarter. So, look, Nikola Jokic is nigh unguardable. I don't know that that's going to continue over the rest of the course of this series, but you have to feel pretty good about Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein, how they really defended Nikola Jokic tonight as well.
How do you bounce back if you're the Nuggets? You're going to be back home on Friday in game 3. You get a little bit of extra rest. Because remember, they're coming off a game 7 victory, whereas the Thunder were rested and ready, maybe a little bit rusty in game 1 where they didn't have that killer instinct to close out the game. And you saw that here in game 2 where they just, I mean, absolutely eviscerated the Nuggets in this one from the first half and on. But if you're the Nuggets, what changes? What do you just tip your hat to the Thunder in Game 2 and just go, all right, we're on to Game 3, we're good?
Yeah, the Nuggets have been here before. Don't forget, in the first round against the Clippers, they got blown out in I think it was either Game 3 or Game 4. It was one of the games in LA. And then they just went, oh, you know what? We're veterans. We're all veterans. We've been here. We've done that. We've won a championship as recently as 2 years ago. Nikola Jokic is basically the coach on the court at this point and will probably yell at them, although maybe not tonight. He fouled out tonight, and maybe he just wanted a little bit of extra rest. He saw which way this was going. I think that they have this experience, the playoff experience, to just say, these things happen. Wasn't our best night. We stole one in Game 1. So when you leave Oklahoma City with a game in hand, you already won one on the road. I think ultimately you're pretty happy with that. You're probably not thrilled with getting throttled in the end score here, but hey, you took a game off of the best team in the NBA on their floor. Now you're back to Denver and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, they got blown out against the Clippers in Game 3, and they get blown out here in Game 2 against OKC. When you look at what this Thunder team is, right? They're still the favorites to win the NBA title, plus 125. Did you think at some point on this night you go, okay, this is what a championship caliber team looks like compared to what you're seeing right now from the Celtics, who are down 0-2 to the Knicks?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, look, Oklahoma City was not just good. They were exceptional this season. They won 68 games. They had the #1 defense in the NBA, not by a little bit, by a significant margin. They had the #1 point differential in the NBA, not just this season, Akeem, but in NBA history. I mean, this was an historically great team. SGA, who, as you mentioned, was just so efficient tonight, has been so good all season, is the presumptive MVP. He had a fantastic season. And then, you know, the playoffs, he just didn't look like the SGA that's going to win the MVP most likely. Well, he certainly did tonight. You needed him to be every bit as good as he was during the regular season in the postseason against Denver after giving away Game 1. He was as well. And Chet Holmgren, who, you know, he missed a big chunk of the season because of an injury, and then he missed those 2 free throws in Game 1. Well, he bounced back big time tonight. Double-double, 15-11, 2 steals, 2 blocks, was great at both ends of the floor. I think he's their second best player by a significant margin, even though Jalen Williams made his first All-Star team and would probably make All-NBA. They're just loaded up and down the roster. So, yeah, you wanted to see them answer the bell. And this is the team. This is the team that dominated the NBA during the regular season. Now they're starting to show it in the postseason. Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty good because I had Thunder minus 42.5 on the alt line. Another joke. I'm kidding. I didn't have that. Imagine, right? I told everybody in the newsroom, though, lay the points with OKC. They're not going down 0-2. They haven't lost back-to-back home games since last November, John. Like, they're not going to lay down. They're just not going to, like, this is a team that will bounce back. And I hope the same can be said about my Cavaliers. I hope so.
I'm hoping that for you. I want good things for you in Cleveland.
Appreciate you. John Gonzalez here on CBS Sports HQ. Of course, you can hear him on Beyond the Arc podcast, breaking down all the big storylines as they react to here in the playoffs. And they'll have something to react to in Game 2. An absolute beatdown in Game 2. OKC 149-106. Again, it was their most points in a playoff game in franchise history. But, hey, it adds up to just 1 victory. They need to win 3 more. The series shifting to Denver Friday night, 10 Eastern at Ball Arena.